a living. A month now has elapsed since that legislation was passed by the Parliament, and nothing has happened. And this is disastrous. Christmas has come, Christmas has gone, the start of the school term came and has gone as well, and still there's been no reopening of the industry. And thousands of people are continuing to suffer and are on the breadline as a result of the inaction by the government in implementing the legislation which they brought, even that legislation which has challenges and problems for the industry and persons who work in the industry. The association, to its credit, has said that they will operate within the law as passed by the Parliament, despite it having flaws, in spite of the fact that the government decided to keep the export of copper banned for, I think, a year, rather than having a short-term period of banning copper exports. But the association said they're willing to work with the government to have the industry restarted so that people could earn a living, put food on the table, have their children sent to school, meet all of their basic needs of bills. Food prices are continuing to escalate and so on, and the government is dragging its feet. So on behalf of the MSJ, we are adding our voice and lending support to the demand for the government to immediately implement the law which it passed to have the industry restarted and to allow people in this country to earn $1 and to be able to take care of themselves and take care of their families. Nothing less than the immediate implementation of the law will suffice at this time. That is the only thing that could bring justice and fairness to thousands of people who are dependent on this industry. Thank you very much.
A pleasant good afternoon to each and everyone. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I'm not going to say much because I know Mr. Ferguson has a lot to say, and I'm just going to re-emphasize what Mr. Abdullah has said. Those of us in the industry, we're hurting. Especially the smaller ones, we're hurting very badly. We're bleeding and we're almost out of blood. You know, I know that the government in certain ways have their hands tied, but I would like them to know that not everybody in the industry are guilty of doing bad things. Actually, it's in the minority. It's just a few people that have done things that they were not supposed to do, but the majority of the people are poor, innocent people who are struggling to make a living. And I hope that they would find it in their hearts to consider this and open the industry soon. So without any further ado, I would pass it on to Mr. Ferguson. Thank you.
O mankind, listen well. I may not be with you much longer. The weak among you, feed them on what you eat, dress them as you are dressed. You will meet your God, and he will call you to account for your actions. Let those who are present warn those who are absent. You are all descended from Adam, and the best among you is he who most regards God. Think deeply about what I say. Let all your feuds be abolished. Nor must you take anything from your brother except what is given freely. Do not oppress.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I want to thank David Abdullah. I want you to understand that he is a close friend of me, and he and his organization, he support us in this struggle. So I want to thank him for all the support. For years now, he's given us all the support that he has been giving us. I want to also thank my Vice President, because this is a very tired struggle fight. And I could understand when some people is getting weary at this fight. Some people is getting fed up at this fight. I want to also thank Nicole for being here today. And I want to thank all the media, everyone who is listening. I want to thank everyone. All the support that we have been getting for the last 4 to 5 months. I want to thank each and every one for the support that they have given us. Without your support, I don't know where I and all probably might be. But because of the way you give me the courage to fight this fight, and you support us, is where have me still speaking today. And I want to also say, I want to thank my Lord, because without my life, I couldn't be here today. And I want to thank my Lord for all that He has done for me. Because it's He, my Lord, is who gave me the strength and the spiritual strength to fight this fight. I know you here today and you want to listen to what I have to say. But before I go into what I need to go in, I need to say this. I believe in God. And without God, I would have never able to fight this fight. Because this fight is also an enemy fight and a destroying fight. Because this organization is an organization, we start from zero and we bring it to something. And most of the time, when you see poor people have something, it's because sometimes the people on top just want to take it. Because you see, they don't respect us and they don't care about us. And when you say about this, they don't like you because you're saying the truth. But I will always want to speak the truth, because the truth is always set you free. And God loves the ones that speak the truth. God don't want to hear from the ones that speak in lies and don't care about people. Because the poor people is always be the majority. And the poor people is the one that had to protest for road, protest for food, protest for house, protest for this. Because you see, we is the last. And because sometimes it seems that they're helping us. And they give us thousands and they give us a public assistance. We always feel that is what we deserve. But because you don't understand sometimes, and it need people like myself and other people to tell you the truth. Because this country, no matter what they say, this country have oil, it have gas, it have methanol, it have pitch. This country is a rich country. And this country have over 450,000 people cannot make the daily what they're supposed to feed the family. And Trinidad and Tobago is one of the, let me leave out Haiti, because Haiti don't have what we have. We have one of the most set of poor people operating in this country, where sometimes people don't care about us. And because we're poor, I am telling you, if this organization must belong to other set of people, we wouldn't have to be fighting today, because the people in charge don't care about the poor, and I don't care what they think about me again. Because if you're pushing me and backing me back to the corner, and you pelt and blow at me, and you're cuffing me in my head, because I know about boxing, I used to box, I have to pelt back some punch to be able to get out of that corner. And you all doing that 5 months, and Pelton wants to blow at my head, and Pelton blow at all the poor people who belong to this organization. And some people telling me don't talk. Some people say don't speak. But I, as a leader, I have to say something. It's thousands and thousands of people each and every day calling me. Some of them coming by me. They cannot feed the children. They can't pay the rent. They can't pay for the van that they take out. Some of them have to buy medicine for the children. They ensure that if they could keep it up by begging to help the children. These are the claims that I keep getting each and every single day concerning this industry need to open up. People is coming by me and telling me what we got to do, what is it we need to do again to let the government understand that there's thousands and thousands of poor people in this industry. And I keep on telling them, let us have patience, and some of them getting fed up of me telling them, let us have some patience. And why is I saying that? Why is I saying that? The government is treating us, and I'm going to say it today, I don't care if they vex, because I am not because I have political friends and people who I check for and believe, and I understand that there is honest people. Who is my friend, who is politician? I have to talk the truth, because I representing poor people. And when I representing poor people, I must speak the truth, because God loves the people who speak the truth. God don't love no ugliness. God don't love no hateness. Because as poor people, we're supposed to be helping poor people. And I must mention it. I have to mention it. Not one help we receive from this government. Not one help from this government. Based on 5 months now, we have keep on getting nothing. And I mentioned to them, there's so much of people in all the dumps that they'll sometimes live in the dump, living on this industry, living on this industry. And I have to say silence when these people have suffering for the last 5 months. I must say, and don't tell all you that all you're doing are injustice to poor people. I must remain silent. I must remain silent. I must tell you all that these people is also a human being, and they're getting fed up. Sometimes they're saying, Chief, we block all the roads in Trinidad and Tobago. And I say, no, we can't do it. Because it has have old people need to go to the hospital, and they have people need to go to the airport. Chief, let me block up the place. And I say no to it, because it's breaking the law, and I like to stick to the law. But when they take away all my powers from me, this government, I can guarantee that I can stop them from doing it. I cannot, because it have a time they might stop listening to me. They will have a time that they don't want to listen again. Because why? I keep telling them, have patience. And what I must do again for these poor people that's suffering. And every time you talk to one of the ministers, you talk to somebody, they're working on it. They're working on it, but all they tell you the truth. All they say the truth. If all they want to take care of these containers and the port before all you do anything. And I could tell you all, that is madness. Because if it's 4 people or 3 people have containers on the port, there's thousands and thousands of people in this industry, which is poor people too. And not because some of them do not belong to the dump or they don't belong. There's people all over doing this industry, all over take part in this industry. And because some of y'all don't even love poor people, or don't care about poor people, or they sometimes leave it alone and leave us alone to fight this fight. And brothers and sisters and people who listen into Trinidad and listen over outside of Trinidad, I want you to know that because, you know why the government could do what they're doing us? Because this to me is an injustice to people. We don't want to unite with one another. Because you have a nice work and because your brother or your sister, they may have nothing good, you really didn't care. And because I'm struggling for the poor people, you didn't care about me. You have bad things to say about me because I'm struggling for poor people. And I don't have to do it, but because if God leads me to do this, I am telling you that I don't need to do that. But I have to fight for my people. And because I am fighting for the poor people of Trinidad and Tobago who in this industry, some of y'all don't even like me because of that. Some of y'all take all kind of things, but I take my money and I put it and I spend it. I put out and I do a lot to help the people in this industry. And what is happening? We need to unite, brothers and sisters. We need to unite. And if it has to come from the scrap industry that all the poor people in Trinidad need to unite, let us bring out the people. And I want to say this to Trinidad and Tobago. I will say this to Trinidad, it have a time this, where they have taken advantage on poor people must stop. It must stop. People in Lavantil and Beetham and Arima Dump Road and Claxon Bay and all over Trinidad that I've been able to call all the names. But if you watch and you see vans, people who take part in scrap is all over Trinidad and Tobago. Today we was trying to get some people from Tobago to come here to be part of this news conference. And it's because of a flight they couldn't come. Because they and all is crying out. And I am telling the government, if you all don't open this industry, I will ask all civil society people, and I am telling you all, I will show you all, because you all believe in God, and I will show you all where God said to take care of the poor. I will show you all where God said to take care of the people who cannot even handle themselves, take care of themselves. And I will call on all the trade unions. And I will call on all poor people of all Trinidad and Tobago to have a day that I will want to mention what it will be. But it will be gathering. The people of the poor will be gathering to able to stop this injustice about poor. It's not about the scrap people alone. It's not about scrap alone. You see right through. You see people can't even make the bills. You see people catching the N. And you want to raise electricity and all. You and telling people when you're going to be able to do it is when you're going to be able to do it. And you telling me you don't care about me because the poor people is the one that's feeling the most. The other people don't care. Some of them, it has some that care and some that support. But look, when you look at the taking place in Trinidad now, nowhere in the Caribbean, and they don't have the resources that what we have here in Trinidad. And I'm going to tell you all, we're going to call out every organization we could call out. Because you see, just me ain't coming here and I ain't coming here and I ain't taking part and I ain't taking part because them is poor people and them is this people and them is that people. All of this must change. We must look at one another and fight for one another. And that is why we put out this piece of the clipping that God said we must be part of helping poor people. I don't know where all you get this from. that when something taking place, leave them alone. And that is why we have so much of crime in this place. So much of crime. Because why? We're not taking care of the people in the way we're supposed to take care of it. We give them a little small little change, we give them a little thing, and we feel that a $1,300 could mind somebody for the whole year. For the whole month, I mean. All of this is foolishness. So I am saying today, I didn't want to make the call. But you know why I'm making this call? Trinidad and Tobago, you hear why I'm making this call? If they open back the industry tomorrow, I will be happy. But I will also be sad. Because 90% of the people who are involved in this industry will never be able to open back. And the way they want to go, they want to, even if it have 10% of the people who will be able to open back, if we allow them to keep on going how they're going, these people and all will be outright. Because when you keep an industry shut down for months and people can't pay their bills, because most of the people have to pay rent, most of the people still have bills to pay. And what you will do then, you will bankrupt them. And then what you will do, you will bring in whoever you need to bring in to take over this industry. I am telling you, people who will take part in this industry, trust me, it will be chaos if we allow the government to do what they have plans to do. And I have to tell you that all of us will be able to be operating in this industry. This industry will be like, you remember Playway? All the little blocks and all the little place used to hustle that, and they take it away from us. They even take away Tulum from us selling. They take away every single thing. And the only thing we have now is the scrap industry that poor people could get something to live. And what happened? What happened? They want to take this from us. And I have to say silence. But I am saying this. I am a soldier. I am a man of God. And no matter what you think about me, or no matter what you feel about me, I am a man of God. And that is why I'm asking all church people and all people, all Muslims, all Hindus, all Christians, all Baptists, come and help us fight this fight for the poor people. Because if you don't do it, you will have to be accountable to God. You will have to be accountable for God. Because this injustice taking place because it's poor people. And they don't care. They don't care, they didn't listen to us. They don't care. They're doing what they want. And we have to take it. And if you want, we don't care about all you. We don't care about all you. But there come a time in certain countries all over the world when they was doing poor people thing. Poor people stand up, and a lot of changes make place, A lot of changes just make place when you see poor people stand up, But then we here, look, watch, right in America, one person died because of what 5 police do. And look at all the cities. Because it has nothing to do with dying my family where the police kill, It has nothing to do with dying my friend, Each and every city people come out. Because you know why? An injustice has taken place. And look what happening to we. Because of a few set of people went rampant and thieving, that you believe is the whole 25,000 people went and thief and more. No, it's just a few. And we had to suffer. We had to pay for Paul. We had to pay for Paul, but it mustn't be like that. It mustn't be like that. And I am telling you, y'all, God don't sleep, but Prime Minister. God don't sleep, Minister of Trade. God don't sleep, Minister of Attorney General. God don't sleep, Minister of Energy. All the oil and all the things that we want to get for Trinidad, God don't love ugliness. And that is why you all ain't seeing how the country going by all this crime, by all this evilness. Because God don't love evil. And because of all of this evil we're doing, God ain't holding back all this killing. Because you ain't taking care of the people you're supposed to take care of, which is the poor. The poor people is the people that we have to take care of. And we're not doing it. And that is why the country killing are rampant. Because all are not doing the right thing. All are not doing the right thing. If we take care of the poor and we take care of the people who need to be taken care of, not only want to take care of the rich. And that is why we in a state like this. Because you're just planning all kind of evilness. And when you plan evilness, God just plan more than you. So we need to brothers and sisters in all the communities, we need to come together. Forget who started. Forget who going and started. Forget how I look like. Forget my religion. Forget who, because of who I am. And let me start to mobilize. Because it has to go, you know. And if it had to start with the scrap industry, God just make things happen with breakdance and show your light. And if God used me to start this mobilization, why it will have to be impossible for it to do. So people, I'm calling on you all. You see, Carnival is taking place, so we go wait until after Carnival. Because I don't want to unbug all you, because you love it. All you love it. Why is people suffering and can't feed their family? All you like shaking up and whining. Me ain't going to get bothered all of that because I'm going to be fighting all and I'm fighting all you. I just let you know we need to unite. We need to unite. And how we unite? By stopping this evil force that's taking place in this country. And we need to start to do the thing that is right. And when we start to do the thing that is right, you can see how the change is going to come through in the country. The country will make change, you know. But the only how it will make the change is when we change what is in the heart. What's in the heart? Wickedness. Wickedness against the poor. And I hear tonight, and I hear this today, because you know why I hear today? Because I get the vision that I had to tell you that if it is, it has to start from the poor to make change in this country. Let us start it. Let us start it. Because the police can't do the work, you know. You're seeing it. So don't tell me about it's a police and it's an army. Them enable themselves because some of them is part of the problem. And if we had, some of we and all is part of the problem too, eh? And that's why we need to change. And how change could happen? Change could happen by we organizing and having somebody leading this. Somebody who fear the Lord. And then the change can make brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, I can't stay hold telling you what we need to make change. But what I could tell you, I know the media will like to know about all kind of things were happening. What I could say, that the last thing that they find in some scrapyard is a generator. I speak with the owner of the yard before I come here. And it's like the authorities, they run in front before they do the checks. And what I was told by the owner is that attorney went to the station with all the documents that they say is a stolen generator, and he produced the documents, and I think the guy got them released, and I think they went and locked up somebody else. And so I was told. So I always say sometimes you need to leave these things. Let the authority do the investigation. And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago, I'm making it very clear, I will not support one wrong and one evil. I will support it. But what I had to do, I had to fight for my thousands and thousands of poor people who is members of this organization. And not because of 2 and 3 and 4 that you want to keep this industry shut down. Because you have your plan and you don't want to talk to me if you have problems. You could talk to we and let me sit down and fix it. Let me sit down with all the stakeholders, sit down and fix it. And let me open back up the industry. Up to now, since you went to Parliament, you didn't talk to me once. And everybody feels all right, they could laugh because they find some kind of generator in some yard, or they feel that they get something in the port. Trinidad and Tobago, I don't feel a pleasure to talk all these things. Most of the time, sometimes, that Petrotrin, big company, sell some of the members all kind of different things. They didn't check out yet to see if they have a receipt for this or that, but they want to shout it out. We find this, we find that, we find that. If all you find things, lock up the people who all have to lock up, I don't cater. I don't cater because I been preaching to my members. I will not support you all with this evilness that some of you was taking part in. I will support all you. And I get to say for the last, I am saying that we, because of how the situation is in Trinidad, it's not about scrap alone. It's about the poor people. And because it's about the poor people we're fighting for. Because let me tell you something. If you all don't know, out of more than the 25,000, more than 90% of the people is live on a daily basis. And some of them will be scratching to live. And when you shut it down for 5 months and don't even want to open it back, ask me what is that? You have the ideas, you have the color, you have all the whole state to check out and do all you want. And you don't need to hold back an industry because of this small thing. All I could say in my head, based on my normal head, is this is wickedness. And I don't care if all your vex, because they done do me wickedness already. And all they want me to play soft and nice now, all they done do me wickedness. What you want me to play soft? And not a UNC, and not a PNM, and not a whoever, and not a politician. I'm a man of God. I'm a man of God. I want to do what God tells me to do. God tells me to help the poor. God tells me to be fair to mankind. God tells me to be good to people. God tells me to speak the truth. And what I must do, lie, because I have to afraid all you. But let me tell all you something, one day we're going to meet our Lord. Don't matter if you kill me. Don't matter if you do me wickedness. Don't matter if you want to shut down my business. One of these days we will face the Lord. And the Lord knows everything. And He's the judge. He's the judge. He's the one who will put you in hell or heaven. And when you know that, and you're doing people wickedness, God will be the final judge. So that's my thing. So even if I go today, I know that I speak the truth. And I don't care about you all who don't tell me, but hey, don't tell them that they go hold up longer. They don't destroy me and they want to destroy me more. And even if they open up, if the door fix the industry the way it's supposed to fix, we in problems. I tell you all of that. And I swear by my Lord, I will never tell you the lies. I tell you, I am the president. And I swear by my Lord that when this industry opens back, 90% or more of us will never be able to operate in this industry because of what the government have in store for us, the poor people. Because you know it has some rich one in this industry. And you hear me boasting about it, me talking because whilst I have to represent the people who don't like me, I still have to represent them. The association has to do that. Whilst people don't care about you, you still have to represent them. Whilst they're talking you bad, you still have to represent them. And I have this strong faith that I don't expect no blessings from them. I expect my blessing from my Lord. So I have to do what I have to do. And I don't cater with them. And that is why I have to speak the truth. And I don't want to care you no more. But I have plenty to say, no? Plenty more to say about how we must live. Because one of the things that we doing bad is treating the women bad. And when a society treating women bad, that will cause a lot of problems like how we going here now. We beating the women, we killing the women, yes, so we doing all kind of things. And if we change all of that will might be a change for the country. So when I'm talking, I'm going to talk about how we treat women. Treat women with a little more better courtesy. Treat women more better. If a woman is your wife, treat she better. And that's our key way to start to let this country be better and for we to live good. And when we start to want to have a tongue girl and an eye girl and all kind of girl, that is where this causes the problem in the society. Because the society evil. So I want to thank you, and I ask him any question. If I can't answer them, the Vice President will answer them. So I'm sorry to keep you long, but I had to talk. I had to talk. Oh, all right, yeah. So we will put it back on. We will.
Good afternoon to the media. Thank you, Mr. Ferguson, for having me speaking after such passion. I want to touch on something that Mr. Ferguson spoke about, which is something that the opposition did raise in Parliament during the scrap metal debate. This piece of legislation will not stop the theft, scrap metal theft, until we address the inequality that we are seeing in society. We are experiencing levels of unemployment that we have not experienced in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to understand, and the government must understand, that if there are no jobs, if the price of food is out of control, if public servants are living on salaries, 2013 salaries, then you have placed the citizenry, you've placed their backs against a wall. And, you know, there is a saying that there can be no peace if there is no justice. So I want to echo the sentiments of Mr. Ferguson when he speaks about, you know, the way that we treat our women, the evil society, etc. Much social reform is needed, and this is just one piece of legislation. I want to touch on the legislation because, once again, what is happening is that the most vulnerable in society are paying the price for this government's mismanagement. There was a scrap iron report in 2016 that truly met the needs. That report spoke about all of the issues. This industry has long asked for regulation. So it is not that Mr. Ferguson and his team are running away from regulations. In fact, if you read the executive summary of that report, you will see that they named all the problems that we saw. So if this government had the foresight, we would not be here where we have shut down 25,000 persons. And might I add, we have shut down a $290 million TT industry, an industry that generated last year $43 million US at a time when foreign exchange is something that's almost impossible to come by. Another industry that seems to be going on under the black market because of lack of management. We are seeing crime where military ammunition is being used, where military uniforms are being used, where military personnel are being used. But you know what? Are we going to say, well, let's just shut down the army? No. The answer to every issue that we are seeing in Trinidad and Tobago is proper management. And we are pleading with the government to open this industry immediately and manage it. Theft has always been a crime. We saw recently where steel beams were taken from the North Stand. This is not an item that can be easily smuggled in your pocket. Where are the CCTV cameras? Where was that site properly secured? Is that contractor now going to be reimbursed to get more steel beams? There are serious questions to be answered. Mr. Ferguson spoke about those who stand to benefit from the legislation in the form that it's in right now. We have been told that there is a P&M financer who has his eye on the scrap iron industry. We have heard it here today. We heard from Mr. Abubakar at the RIC consultations. He pleaded. He said that the country was at its tipping point. Are we going to wait until a riot really happens? Colm Imbert, you laughed about it. Is that what you are carrying us and forcing our citizens to do? We have called on citizens to keep the peace, to fight using the law. But as Mr. Ferguson said, this industry is the last second chance industry. It is an industry where those who have served their time in prison can come out and reform their lives. And we all know that it's challenging for them to get jobs. So it is a space where they can earn a legal income. We are asking you to open this industry immediately. resource the TTPS to give them a fighting chance against crime. This is an issue of management. This is an issue of enforcing the law. This is not an issue where the burden should be placed on the most vulnerable in society. And I would like to join my voice with the 25,000 plus scrap iron industry workers who are on the breadline, who cannot access grants, because we all know that saying, that is a PR, that's gimmicks. We have heard from those in the scrap iron industry, they are not able to access the grants. We are pleading with the government to do the right thing. And I would like to join with Mr. Ferguson in his call. Citizens, it is time for us to unite. We cannot wait. We are on track for 700 plus murders this year. The opposition leader in 2012, when his name was Keith Rowley then, said if a government cannot control crime, then that government is part of the problem. Will you wait until crime hits your doorstep? Will you wait until hunger hits your doorstep before you unite and say enough is enough? I join my voice with the 25,000 plus scrap iron dealers today, workers today. We are asking the government, please open the industry immediately and give the most vulnerable a fighting chance at eating, the bare minimum of eating. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Ferguson.
So to those of you who are viewing us online, just for your benefit, you have just heard from activist Marsha Walker. And before that, you would have heard from the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, Mr. Alan Ferguson. And speaking before Mr. Ferguson would have been our vice president, Mr. Ttsida'S. And of course, before him was the leader of the movement for social justice, Mr. David Abdullah. So this is where we end our media conference today. Remember, you can follow the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, where you will be updated on all the developments on the scrap iron industry. My name is Nicole Dookie, saying thank you for joining us.